Have you seen Star Wars?
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is a theme park in both Disneyland and Disney World, Anaheim, California, and Orlando, Florida, where I am at. And there's a new report from a Disney historian named Jim Hill, who on his recent podcast suggested that Disney is actually looking at ways to insert characters and ships from The Mandalorian into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge theme parks. And this makes sense in terms of popularity. I would argue that The Mandalorian is significantly more popular than Batuu, or most of the characters who are walking around Galaxy's Edge today. And there's a little bit of a debate on how this will be executed, or if it should happen or not. But if you look at what's happening right now, with the theme parks being closed in most of the world, and it's doing pretty good here in Orlando, like Universal and Disney World both seem to not be going to full capacity, but it's pretty good side crowds. I mean, it's the holiday season, so that's maybe why, but there's a lot of people who have been going to these. But one of the things that would really bring more people in to the theme parks, mainly Galaxy's Edge, would be adding more popular characters like Din Djarin, and I think the report also said Ahsoka Tano. And the most interesting thing for me, and it seems kind of not far-fetched but hard to do, would be moving the TIE Echelon. That's Kylo Ren's TIE fighter that he was going to have in Duel of the Fates from Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9. They're going to replace that with the Razor Crest, Mandalorian's ship. And this all seems great. I actually like this idea. Not because I'm hating on the sequels or anything like that. It's just that in terms of popularity and what casual audiences would understand, it really would make sense to do something like The Mandalorian. It was really confusing for a lot of us Star Wars fans, and even park goers, on why Disney and Lucasfilm decided to set Galaxy's Edge on the planet of Batuu and make it canon. That's what makes this so hard, is because Batuu, at least the time you visit it in Galaxy's Edge, is after Episode 8 and before Episode 9. And so that doesn't really make sense to have Mando and Ahsoka and the Razor Crest walking around, because all three of those things could be dead by this point. I mean, they could all just be dead. The Razor Crest is 100% dead. So why would you see these characters walking around when it's been 30 years plus since you've actually seen them in like seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian? That's one of the reasons that makes it kind of hard to put this into canon, because then it would break canon. And I would argue it doesn't matter if it's canon or not. I would argue that this is just a Star Wars theme park that would be nice to visit. It would be nice to see the characters who walk around. Because right now the characters who are walking around are characters like Rey, Chewie, another character named Vi, there's also Kylo Ren. And they do really well with the crowds, and there's people who want to take pictures with them. It's fun and all. How many casual Star Wars fans and casual park goers and audiences in general know who Vi is? Who know what Batuu is and all this stuff? A lot of them don't. And that's one of the reasons I don't think Galaxy's Edge is as big as it could have been. I think the size of it is kind of insulting. I really think they should have gone all out and created an entire Star Wars theme park as big as the other 4 or 5 parks that they have, but that's a story for another day. The point I'm trying to make here is audiences would be more familiar with places like Tatooine, Mos Eisley, or maybe even Coruscant. There's a lot of places in the Star Wars universe they could have set up shop at for a theme park, or just gone all out and just had different planets in different parts of the park, or just anything else. Literally anything else but a planet that you have to visit that's set during a certain time. Because even when it comes to canon, Galaxy's Edge does not make sense. Because if it's on Batuu, after Episode 8, The Last Jedi, when you go to the Rise of Resistance ride, Kylo Ren has his mask on, and his mask is broken. It's not fixed until Episode 9. So it already breaks canon. So because of that, why not just go all out and break canon again and bring Mandalorian in there? Bring Ahsoka in there. Bring the Razor Crest. Bring anyone you want, because at this point, who cares? Who cares? Why do we have to be so hell-bent on sticking to the canon of Batuu and Black Spire Outpost? I understand it kind of adds to the theming of it. That's a big thing at the Disney parks, is theming is what they call it. And I'm all for that. It really does help seeing these characters and cast members who walk around the park and they act like they're in the Star Wars universe. It's very fun. However, you kind of shot yourself in the foot here by saying you're taking place between 8 and 9 when those films literally just came out in the past 5 years, and there hasn't been enough time for it to really resonate with audiences. And just by looking at the reviews and the box office numbers for these films, they haven't resonated with audiences that much. As opposed to The Mandalorian, the most pirated show in 2020. Ahsoka was one of the top 3 most searched characters of 2020 as well. The point I'm trying to make here is, it is clear that more audiences and people are interested in The Mandalorian, that show, the series, the characters, than they are the sequel trilogy. So why did Disney and Lucasfilm go, oh, we should bet everything on the sequel trilogy, forget everything that people loved about Star Wars, let's make it where it's something new? I can't remember who said it, but I remember someone saying up in the chain at Disney and Lucasfilm that the reason they did Batuu, the reason they did the sequel trilogy, is because they wanted it to be new memories for people, and they didn't want to rely on the old memories of fans like Tatooine, like other planets and parts of the universe that we visited before, which just makes no sense. I mean, people love the original trilogy, and I don't think casual audiences love the prequels, but there's a lot of Star Wars fans who love the prequels, and even if you put a planet from the prequels into Galaxy's Edge, there would still be some people who go, oh, that's really cool, we're on Coruscant, we're on whatever planet from the prequels you want to visit. It could still just be Tatooine. It really should have always just been Tatooine, but I understand, you don't want to put sand on the ground and all that stuff. Regardless, there's a lot of options they could have explored with Galaxy's Edge, and I really think they took like the least intriguing option. Which is not to say it's not popular. I remember a lot of people in like, not 2020, but I think 2019 to 2020, that little gap of time when it opened up, people were saying that Galaxy's Edge isn't popular, it's a ghost town, no one's there. Listen, bro, Galaxy's Edge is popular. That is the most popular part of Disney World right now, in my opinion. It's always packed. There's always outrageous lines. When you try to get a ticket to go on to Rise of Resistance, it always goes out, or boarding group is what they call it. It's very popular. But if you wanted to make it even bigger, then do this. Bring The Mandalorian in. Or if you wanted to make it even a bigger deal, you would have made it its own theme park. You would have gone all out with it. But that's what happens when you have people like, what's his name, Bob Chapek. They call him Cheapek because he's really cheap, and he really brought down the immersion for Galaxy's Edge. So it's one of those hindsight things where you look back and you go, you really shot yourself in the foot. And I hate to say I told you so, but we all told you so. Batuu is not a good place to go. You should have done something for The Mandalorian from the start. You should have done something on Tatooine. Literally any other planet. Because if you would have done Tatooine, it would have made sense to have freaking Anakin walking around, Obi-Wan, Mandalorian. Who cares about canon? No one wants to go to a theme park and go, well, I can't spit on the ground because that didn't happen in canon. I can't stub my toe here because that didn't happen in canon. Like, dude, it's a theme park. Go, live a little. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts below. What do you guys think about the thought of having the Mandalorian characters and the ship Razor Crest at Galaxy's Edge as opposed to what we have now? Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe because it does help out the channel. I'm Star Wars Only. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.